So welcome to Channeling Jesus, day 13 of this consciousness transformation program. So when your consciousness is an interesting thing, it is very malleable in one way. It can be manipulated. And you have been manipulated. Your entire life has been beings manipulating you to get to do their will. There's been a lot of experiences that we all have been through, and they are sort of still part of the makeup energetically, so to speak. And those old energies, they I'm not sure what happened there. There was a little energy blip that happened. And that is something that can happen in the transmission. And I'm sharing it because I want you to see when those happen too. Because everything is information. Everything we perceive is information. And my challenge is just to share as much as possible and to actually dare to share what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing. Because I've also come from a history of not sharing who I am, right? And so that's what this is. This is the outing of that. This is the outing of what I had inside for the first, 40 so years of my life. So I've been through some really, really tough lessons that Jesus and this entire team that is assisting with this knowledge constantly. That's why it's, for me, it's like one sentence here, one sentence there sometimes. So it's like, but there is a stream. There is a stream that I'm following. Clearly, there was a stream that I was following. This is it. So this is what meditation does. Meditation helps to strengthen the focus to be able to do this. Because there is a level of focus that needs to happen for the stream to flow. And there is a level of letting go that needs to happen, of, being looked as a certain way, or like I've had to let go of a lot of stuff to get to this place where I actually dare to out this inner energy that I know I've been all along. And so it's just, I've dared. And you know what the first seed was for me? That kind of broke that? It was anger. Anger, that energy of anger, can push through that spark of light that you have on the inside. That's why anger is there. Anger is there to push you out against whatever the energy seems to be oppressing you. Because it is just a mirrored image that you're seeing and experiencing. Like it's really, Like, it is reality, right? It is real. It's just that that's not all that you are, right? So when you die, your spirit, you're still this consciousness. You're still the one that's listening now. You know? You're still that person. And this is what meditation, I come back to meditation right now, because there is a little bit of a staying centered. Because right now I can include this, which is usually what it is. Inclusion, I can also exclude it from my reality. I can exclude it and actually push it away. Or I can include it and like, this is in my reality. What is this trying to tell me? These are just different ways of operating in the same reality. Two choices. You can resist, or you can just invite in. What is this telling me? For me to relax and center more into my own energy so that I can come clearer through, perhaps? Right? That's what I'm feeling with this. But I can still be just practicing that. And because there was a slight resistance at first to that sound of others, but then it was like, okay, correction. That doesn't produce what we want. So these things is a habit to get in, to ingrain, to actually get this right, so that you get to stay in the body, so that you don't go into craving or aversion. Is a term in Vipassana. If you've ever been to a Vipassana meditation, highly recommended, because you're learning a lot about your energy, and you're anchoring your energy during a Vipassana meditation. You're anchoring a lot of energy. You're doing so much good work on landing your soul, pushing out all other energies that are simply not you, but that you might be confused and you might believe and identify with. Whatever you identify with, you take it as part of you. That is what that means. But that doesn't mean that it is you. It might be that there's an aspect you have taken on board and you are just acting out a certain aspect that's not even you. Those you can let go of. So if you experience anyone in your field that can point out your flaws in a way that is loving, matter of fact, and you trust what they're saying, that's very valuable. Use that in your life so that you get to see your shadows. Because we can't see ourselves without another. Right? Each person has two energies within. It's the knower and the feeler. The knower is masculine energy. That is the 3 upper chakras. The feeler is the lower 3 chakras. It has to do with sexuality and the body and feeling good and feeling safe and all of that. Those two energies we constantly have a relationship to. Sometimes it is in harmony, sometimes it is not. Right? Sometimes it needs some correction. But these two energies are always at play. Are you giving up one part of it? You're not in balance if you do that. That means what many couples do, the man gives up the feminine role to the other part, projects it onto her, and the feminine does the same. She's projecting, and so there is this dance going on. It takes some It demands some focus. It demands some focus. Right? It demands some focus to stay centered in the body when there's so much joy going on around. And sometimes it is okay to let the environment influence. If it's this joyful, how do you interpret it though? Do you interpret it as something interfering, or are you interpreting it as something joyful? Right? That is the game. And so we always have choice of how we see things and what we do. But these two aspects is important to start to identify. When are you injecting your will? When are you receiving? Right? When are you in contact with your body? Your body is the feminine, even if you're a man. Your body is the feminine, and the way that you treat your body, you usually treat another feminine. There is a link there. So by changing your relationship internally with your body, you are changing literally your relationship with the feminine in partnership, if you would be in a partnership. If you would want that. First of all, you would attract much different partners, completely. Because you're finally here. You finally landed then. When you're working together with these two, you finally landed. And you're finally here to actually make decisions for the body, with the body. Making sure that you look after it first. And in partnerships, we are being sold this idea that, oh, I will do everything for you. You are my everything. And then what is that? That is a total giving up of their own power onto someone else. And then what happens is that they resent the other person for letting them. Usually. Those are the twisted mental construct that people can get into with that energetically. I've been there. I felt those feelings. It's really chaotic. And it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. So harmonizing these two is what is actually producing the alignment for more light to be able to enter the body, for the possibility of more light. It's like having these two poles not fully aligned, and we're trying to get them to align so that there is more energy going through. And we're doing that in all of the different aspects of the masculine way of seeing things and the feminine way of feeling things and what things mean. So there is a correlation between the two, right? You have such a magnificent body. Your bodies are the most precious gift that you have. They are telling you things all the time. You have to be paying attention to these sweet bodies, paying attention to how they're feeling. What do they need? Do they need shelter? Do they need sleep? Do they need food? Are they getting too much sleep, too much food, the wrong type of food, the right type of environments, the right places to stay and live? Are they really enjoying their environment? That is looking after your body, looking after all of these things so that you make sure that your body is taken care of, so that you can be an integral part as a soul landed. But that also means that you need to have some boundaries. You need to be able to make sure that what's coming into your space is what you desire and what you want. And that is something that you have to build yourself. You You have to build that. That means you have to train to have boundaries. You have to actually make the changes to get those boundaries instilled. That means you have to take the action. Unless you're taking the action, you're not fully landed as your light. Your light is not fully landed because you're not honoring yourself enough. Right? So honor who you are. Honor that inner voice. Honor that inner calling that is wanting to be heard and seen and shared in all its glory. That's what I wanted to share for now. I'll talk to you again in the next one. Ciao.